simple orientation, no, for our lab class. So we just finished our lecture, yes, just last week. Please still give me some time, no, to check the papers. As soon as the exam scores are available, I will post them and announce them sa ato ang Google Space nga chat. Okay? And then also this Saturday is a holiday, so our official first meeting would be next week, not Wednesday. Okay? So this is Chem 24.1, the accompanying laboratory course for your analytical chemistry. Okay, we have the 7:30 to 10:30 schedule. It's a little bit early. Yeah, so Wednesday. We are in a batch schedule, so that's not supposed to be Wednesday, no, dapat Saturday na siya, no. So the additional schedule will be Saturday 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. Now the additional schedule, please check your class list, no, or roster if it is in conflict with another class. If it is, please inform me, no, so that we can shift the second schedule to a different time slot. But the Wednesday schedule, that is a fixed schedule, no, it's official schedule. Okay, so inform me no kung conflict ang Saturday 7:30 to 10:30 time slot. You already know me, hopefully. My name is Aldrin Kagang from the chemistry department. You can communicate me through email or sa ato ang Google Space chat room. So I'm not anymore going to make a different Google Space chat room, no, for this class, because anyway we're the same students. Please inform me kung I student din niya who is not part of the Google Space because lahi yung lecture. I don't think na I student, or so please inform me kung na I student no wala appeal sa ko lecture na ani class. Okay? So we're just gonna do our communications in that same Google Space chat room, no. So maybe I will remove some of the, or maybe not na lang, no, because that's also for the lecture. Anyway, so for this laboratory course, the grading system is simple. I know we have two components, activities, and one comprehensive exam at the end of the semester. Okay, so activities, muna siya itong lab activities, no, experiments. That will also include your performance, no, and participation, which again, I'm going to monitor through your MOLE course page. So make sure that you are completing all of those assigned tasks, no. So just like what I am doing in lecture, the activities that I post sa MOLE, I am expecting the students that they are doing that one in our assigned time schedule. You are free to continue and work on that one outside our given time, but during sa ato ang time slot, I am expecting the students to work on our activities. Okay? And then our lab activities or experiments are going to closely follow the topics that we discussed in the lecture. No? So all the different kinds of titrations, acid-base, redox, complexation, precipitation, spectrophotometry, potentiometry, maybe wala tayo potentiometry activity, no? So only spectrophotometry experiments. Okay, so it is going to be connected to the discussions that we had in our lecture. Okay, so please review on some of those mga topics, no. We are not going to discuss them again sa lab, no, from the beginning. Of course, kung naamoy gusto ipa-clarify or if you want to explain it again, please do not hesitate to ask me. But again, no, in terms of discussion, we're not going to make this one like a lecture, no. The lab is mostly practical applications of the lecture. So ato ang i-focus here is more on the lab experiment, no. So practical aspect of the lecture. Okay, so we're going to show you the titrations, how they are done. Supposedly, kung face-to-face ni siya, kamo dapat ang mag-perform sa titrations. But we're going to make do with whatever resources we have online so that we can at least have some good learning experience in terms of the practical aspect of analytical chemistry. Okay, so we're going to focus more on the method, how are things conducted and performed, what are the purposes of these reagents, what are the steps. Okay, so those kinds of aspects discussion. Okay, now for the Mode of delivery for our content, as I mentioned earlier, we are not in a face-to-face na class setting, unfortunately. So all of the experiments, we're gonna have to rely on online resources to showcase them to you. So we're going to show mga videos of experiments, how they are done. Um, just it is what it is, no? So tema buhat. So I'm going to be posting mga video discussions. It is available in Mole, no? So I'm going to show you mga, for example, titration setups, how it is done. Of course, I will be the one discussing the video, no? So I'm not just going to show you mga links to YouTube videos from others. Of course, the videos are from other creators of the video, no, but the one that is discussing is me because I'm going to make that one pertinent to our own lecture. Okay. So all of these are going to be posted in our Molly course page, which I don't think it is still available. No, you don't have to enroll yourself. I will be the one to enroll you because there's already um, uh, a plenty. Yeah, there's plenty of course pages already that have the same name, okay, over the years, no? So medyo ano siya confusing if you're going to self-enroll yourself. You might end up enrolling in a different course. So ako na lang ang mag-enroll sa inyo ha. Anyway, there's only a few number of students in our class. Okay? Now sa ato ang lab activities, you're going to find at least 4 related nga posts for that single nga activity. Okay? One would be a video discussion um, talking about our experiment, no, showing you the setup, no, and the method. Okay. The second one would be a PDF file containing the method of the experiment and say mga instructions involving that one. And then the third nga post would be an editable nga Word document file, which is your worksheet. That is where you're going to encode and write all of your answers to our activity. Okay. So in terms of kanang worksheet, no, you're going to encode some stuff there, no. But as you know, sa ako ang lecture, when it comes to calculations, all of those nga mga ano, mathematical operations, I require handwritten nga solutions. So you need to insert your handwritten nga solutions sa inyong worksheet. Okay, so na some parts that you are going to encode, maybe the final nga answer, no, or the final concentration of your standardized solution, something like that. But for the um, solutions itself, handwritten dapat. Okay. And then the fourth post would be your submission box there. That is where you're going to find also the specific deadline for the activity. Okay, so please take a look at the deadline that is labeled there so that you know when until when mo pwede mag-submit. Okay, so at least 4 ka related posts to a specific na activity. Okay, so some notes regarding our activities. They're going to be mostly asynchronous, no? So meaning to say, we're not going to meet like this one sa Google Meet, no? So I'm going to leave the materials in the course page. Expect you to work on those during sa ato ang time slot. If you have any questions, you are free to communicate with me. I will be available during those times, no, or maybe beyond our time schedule as well. You can also you're free to ask, no. So I will my availability is almost always online, no. So except na tingali kung during the evening, because maybe the likelihood of me reading your message is very low during the evening. Okay, so yeah, so communicate, no? So asynchronous siya, but the communication is not entirely cut off, right? So I hope you make that understanding, and I do not want to give the impression that I'm just giving you the work and just leaving you alone, okay? So I'm still here, um, supposedly looking after your activities, no? Okay, so when you have the procedure, okay, make sure to read them and also watch the videos of the experiment uploaded online because again, That is where I'm going to talk about and discuss the activity. Okay. Experiment procedures and video links will be on schedule. So sa atong time schedule na ko siya i-make available, or maybe I will post them ahead of time kay 7:30 pod no. So masig makalimot ko og post. And in the event no that you don't see any posts during our um, time slot, please do contact me because there have been instances wherein the posts on sa course page are still hidden from the students. No, so I may have to reconfigure or re-upload the posts. Okay, so there have been those instances. So contact me if you don't find any new activities during our time schedule. Okay. Third note is make sure to submit or accomplish the lab reports on or before the assigned due date. Okay, so I'm going to operate on a weekly schedule sa atong activities. Most of our activities are more siya in pairs, no? So let's say for example, activity 3 and 4. So activity 3 is the standardization of an acid, and then activity number 4 is the continuation of that one. Activity number 4 is going to be the determination of the concentration of an unknown, no? So it is one single analysis, no, but it has been segmented into two different nga activities. The first one, standardization. The second one is the actual analysis of the unknown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the two activities, let's say Wednesday na itong schedule. Okay, and then I'm going to explain that I'm using my video links. No? Then you're going to work on that one. And I'm going to give you 1 week time to accomplish those two activities. Okay, so let's say Wednesday. So ato ang deadline ana would be Tuesday the week after. Okay, so you have plenty of time to accomplish the lab report and activity. Okay, so we have 3 hours ato ang time schedule, and that 3 hours is supposedly time for you to work in an actual experiment mo kung nag F2F, kung nag face-to-face ta, no? Nag-experiment unta mo, so nag-set up mo sa inyong titration, nag-standardize mo sa solution, no? So all of that is actual nga physical nga work. But since that is not part na sa atong online nga class, so you can dedicate more of your time on accomplishing the lab report. Okay, so there's really no excuse for you to not be able to submit on time. Okay, the only reason nga di mo makasubmit on time is because you worked on your activities on the 11th hour. The 11th hour, dila na po nga mawala ang internet, hinay internet, mawala ang kuryente, brown out. Okay, so although those are valid excuses, but those excuses came about because you worked on the activity at the very last minute. Okay, so for this instance, I am not going to give any kind of leniency towards late submission. Okay, so I'm still going to accept late submission, but the merits that I'm going to impose there are going to be more severe, no, than it is when it is, like, for example, sa atong lecture wherein I'm giving you just a ample lang, no, ample nga amount of time. So here, plenty of time, more than enough time. Actually, you can finish the two experiments sa ato ang first day pa lang once I give it to you on a Wednesday. So you can work on that one sa 3 hour nga period and have the rest of the week with no activities na because you've already completed that one. So plenty of time. Okay, so no excuses for late submission. Okay, so when we're going to do our activities, one more point, nga nung di po ko mo accept og excuses for late submission, is that you are going to be working in groups. Okay, so for this lab activity, you're going to be grouped together with members of three, no, 3 members. So I will also allow two or three members kada group. Okay. Question, sir, pwede ba 4? No, 2 or 3 members lang pwede. 4 is already too many people in a group working on a very light load na activity. That's, you know, So daghan na kay siya nga tao. So 2 or 3 members. I will give you the liberty of choosing your own group mates. So first na ko nga task sa inyo ha for this orientation is to find your group mates no. Sa atong Google Space nga chat, kindly reply there. I will make a thread there. Kindly reply your group nga names. Okay? The names of the members of your group. Okay, so 2 or 3. Now, in rare instances nga wa jud kay makita nga kagrupo, I don't know your circumstance, are you too shy or maybe you're just the last one standing, um, I will still consider if you're going to, I will allow if you want to work on the activities alone, okay, individual. Um, okay, fine, sure, you can work on it by yourself, okay? So, or maybe you just don't want to work in a group because you find working in a group too tedious. I respect that one. So please inform me if you want to work alone. That's fine with me. Okay, so by the end of this week, no, or by next week, dapat na namoy group tanan because I will have to configure that one in our Molly course page. Okay, so a group is a requirement there. If you are not set in a group sa atong Molly course page, you will not see the activities. No, you are not going to be allowed to post a submission because a group is required. So restricted siya sa members nga walay group. Okay, so please ensure that you have a group at the end of this week, no? Okay, so when you submit your lab report, you're going to submit that one in our Molly course page. Okay, calculations must be included and handwritten. And then because this is a group work, no, not all members would have to upload their work. Okay? One lab report is needed for every group lang. So 3 members, one file is only what you need to submit. Okay? One lab report lang. Pero ang configuration sa Mole is that although one file submission lang ang submit, all 3 members or 2, no, all of the members in the group are required to click on the submit button, meaning to say that all of the members are approving of this submission as final. Okay? Kung dili tanan members ang mag-click, no, it is not considered final submission. In that event, I cannot see your submitted nga file pa lang, no. I will only see sa log, no, that you have attempted to upload a submission, but I cannot download that one or see the submission. Okay, so please make sure that when you submit your lab report, no, it is finalized, no. You finalize that one when all of the members have clicked on the submit button. Okay, I think of course I cannot see the student nga view, no, but I think sa inyong view it will tell kinsa nga group member ang wala pa naka-click sa submit nga button so that you can notify that person, no, nga uy kailangan ka mag-click sa submit button para ma-finalize atong submission. Okay, that is set up there intentionally um, to deter, no, mga potential nga dowlims, no, mga dawat limpyo nga students, no, because it is not uncommon, especially in group work wherein isa ra ka student ang mag-work, the other 2 or maybe some members walay cooperation, walay contribution, okay? So or walay communication at all. So there have been instances nga wala gyud participation, no, wala gyud siya nag-communicate sa group. And then of course kung naani siya nga setup in place, no, so required gid siya nga present at least, no, at least. So kung if you have trouble communicating with a group member, no, dili mo makasubmit, no, so please do not hesitate to kick that member out of your group. Inform me nga, sir, mo ni siyang situation. Sorry if you hear the noise outside, no, so inform me if there are any uncooperative member who is actually hampering you from submitting your work, no, or fulfilling your work, because there is warranty for that kind of behavior, no, nga pwede nimo siya tanggalon sa grupo. Of course, you need to also give proof, no, nga ay indeed wala dili siya cooperative. Okay, so you can settle disputes that way. Okay, so it's like no, kanang it's a mature way of working in teams, no? So kung wa siya labot, no, bahalag friends mo ana niya, just kick him out. Okay? No hard feelings. Or if you want to shoulder all of the burden because friend nimo ang imong kagrupo, bahalag wala siya contribution, that's also up to you. But kung di mo makasubmit because sa iyaha, I am not again going to accept any kinds of excuse. Okay? So hopefully na understand to ninyo ako ang reasoning behind that one. Uh, okay, so I mentioned kagaina, no, for submission deadlines, please refer to the mole nga submission bin. Okay? Now, this is just a small request on my part. When you upload your lab report, kindly rename your file into this file name format, your section W12 underscore your activity number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then underscore your group members, preferably in alphabetical order. Okay? This is not mandatory because when you upload, no, of course, naka-attach man siya sa inyong name when you upload sa submission box. But what I tend to do when I am looking at your work, no, is I download them all offline and then work um, offline, no. So and then I have to organize and look for the files. So I'm working with a lot of PDF files. So I can take a look at open the file and see kung unsa na siya nga grupo, unsa na siya nga klase, but it would be much more convenient for me if sa file explorer pa lang, no, sa file name pa lang I can see kung unsa ni siya nga file. Okay? So it would help me tremendously if you can do this simple task of renaming your lab report in this file format. Okay? So it's a very small request lang. Hopefully mabuhat ninyo. Now for our final exam, we have only one. It's going to be a comprehensive exam at the end of our class, no? So comprehensive is going to cover activity 1 all the way to the last activity. Okay? It will be conducted in Mole, and then same thing as what I am doing sa akong lecture, no? It's going to be in shuffled and sequential mode. Um, Also, one thing to note, no, for the exam sa laboratory is that um, unlike sa lecture wherein it is more heavy-handed in terms of calculations, fundamentals, theories, principles, sa ato ang laboratory, we focus more on the experiments. No? So you will encounter more practical na questions like which among the solution is an overshoot na titration, how do you handle this reagent, okay, what is the purpose of adding this reagent into the mixture. Okay, so those kinds of questions ang iyong ma-encounter sa itong exam. Okay, it's pertaining more to the methodology of our experiment. Okay, but understanding all of those no still rooted and grounded on your understanding sa itong lecture. So hopefully we have a good grasp sa ato ang lecture nga fundamentals like titration nga principles, no, back titration, mga complexation reactions, acid base nga reactions, so all of those. Okay, so that's for the final exam. Okay, and then for our course, these are already staple na hopefully by now sa itong online class. Of course, you need internet and a browser to access the mole nato ng course page, YouTube to watch videos, Microsoft Word and PDF converters. Um, I don't know. I still encounter some students who say that they have difficulty converting their files to PDF or saving their work into PDF. I hope kung ano no ma ma-figure out na ninyo. At least sa akong perspective, no, it is as simple as saving your Word document as, di ba? Save as PDF. So I do not understand why some students will claim nga galisod sila. Maybe galisod sila og upload or transfer silang files, but saving it to PDF, I don't think that's difficult, no? So um, I hope that you're already proficient in all of these nga mga kung ano, nga mga um, operations that relate sa atong online nga class. Okay, I don't think they will be useless man pud once the virtual classroom is over. If you resume to face-to-face nga class, you're still going to make use of all of the skills that you na develop no sa virtual nga class gyapon no sa face-to-face. Okay, we live in a digital nga era na karon no, so a lot of us are working with a computer, no. Even before the pandemic happened, a lot of people are already working at home. So I don't think it is useless for you to learn all of these stuff, all of these stuff. Okay, yeah. So kana siya. I think these things are some things that I already explained sa lecture, no. So you already know how to operate these things, I hope. Okay, so if you don't know, or if you don't have any facilities or or device that would enable you to, let's say, produce your activity in a PDF, no, that's the beauty of working in a team. You're in a group, no, so ask members, delegate tasks, no, so divide your work so that you can accomplish the task um, easily, no. Okay, so yeah, so final notes, submit on time, explain that enough, communicate. Always, if you have any questions, clarifications, naglibog mo, please explain to me. Unsa day ni siya, sir? Unsa day kasabot ani, sir? Wa ko kasabot, sir. So, always communicate. I'll be happy to respond to your questions if it requires for me to have a meeting, no, so that I can kung di siya madala og chat lang explanation, I will also do that one. So there's no reason for you to say nga waan that I am not here helping you. Okay, I do not like it when students say nga mahadlok daw sila pangutana silang teachers. I do not think I come across as scary. I hope so. I hope not. I hope so. I hope not. Okay, you know, I've been trying to give this impression that I am a very approachable teacher. Okay. Just one thing that I am very strict on is academic honesty and integrity. Work on the activities independently, okay, on your own. You are free to ask maybe your classmates, "Giunsa din ninyo ni siya, unsa ni siya, no?" Pero do not copy, do not cheat. No, copying is cheating, right? You are denying yourself of the learning experience. Okay, so you're enrolling in a good university. Give yourselves give yourself the opportunity to learn. So kung mangopira dahil mo all the way to graduation, then why are you even pursuing a college degree, right? Because anyway, at the end of the day, no, you will still be able to distinguish a competent student versus a um, incompetent students. Bahalag na siya college degree. Ma-distinguish pa na nimo siya. Okay, so especially on a lab course, um, this is not as heavy in terms of load, no, sa compared to your lecture. Okay, so there's really no reason for you to resort to cheating. The only reason, or the primary reason, a lot of students cheat on a lab course is because they are too lazy to do the work themselves. And if you are lazy to do the work yourselves, you don't deserve any kind of success. Lazy. So you have to do your due diligence. Okay, bahalag magkarambula mo din na, bahalag ano, you're struggling to figure out the activity. That's why I'm here to facilitate, di ba? You have to ask me kung para matabangan mo. Okay? So I do not want any kind of copy-pasted activity. If I see that kind of copy-pasted output from my students, no, I'm sorry, no, the entire class will lose their credibility because the chances of an entire class cheating nowadays is very, very high. Unlike before, wherein kung na kayo makita ng cheating incident, no, usually it's an isolated case. Maybe one student is copying from a different student, but now it's more like a concerted effort of a group when they are cheating. So I hope I don't see this kind of behavior. Okay, so pan lang. Just a small spiel in terms of academic honesty and integrity. So please uphold that one. Honesty does not have to be enforced. Okay, it has to be embodied. Okay, so be honest even if nobody is looking at you. Too preachy na already. So that ends my short na orientation lang. Any questions regarding sa ato ang lab nga class? Questions?
None from me, sir.
Okay, so I hope that was well understood. If you have any questions nga later on pa mo arise, and again, no, the chat is always available wherein you can send your queries. Okay, so please be reminded no atong groupings. So kindly reply your groupings sa ato ang Google Space nga chat so that I can configure that one sa atong Molecourse page. Okay, so Saturday, no meeting because it's a holiday. So our first nga activity will be on Tuesday next week. So see you next week. Sa Tuesday, I think sa Tuesday we're still going to do a online Wednesday day. So Wednesday we're still going to do a Google Meet session like this one. So 7:30, no. So I hope you can um, wake up early. That's also a challenge for me, just as much as it is for you. Okay. So, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye po, sir. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you.